Thanks for tuning in to the Palm Beach Podcast, a weekly show highlighting people making a positive impact in our community. With your hosts, sports chiropractor and athletic trainer, Dr. James Spencer, photographer and art director, Mike Jones. Our show is brought to you by Pump House Coffee Roasters, Hopportunities in Delray Beach, and the Lotus Travel Company for retreats and tours in Palm Beach County. Hello, and welcome to the Palm Beach Podcast. My name is Mike Jones. I'm hanging out at Media Zone on Singer Island with a couple cool people. Dr. James Spencer, how you doing today?
Beautiful to see you as always. Beautiful blue skies and blue waters.
We are fortunate to be here in Palm Beach County, and we are very fortunate to be joined by some special guests today.
I know, I'm excited to introduce them. Let's go ahead. We got Koby and Zoey from Two Fat Cookies. Welcome, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
We're excited to be here.
And besides Two Fat Cookies, there's a couple other things that come along with that. What else would those be?
We got a 2 Fat BrEGGfast.
And a Death by Pizza.
Heck yeah.
And we're very spoiled because you guys came in like double fisting with food. So we did try the pizza before. I'll throw some footage in of that because that was delicious. Spicy, sweet. Loved it. And then a couple cupcakes.
Specifically to the Palm Beach Podcast. So thank you guys so much for that. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Of course.
And that's something that we want to create here. And it's very obvious with you guys as well. It's all about the experience.
Yep.
And why don't you guys talk a little bit about that experience that you like to set?
So we're so happy to be on the podcast, and we wanted to bring you guys a little bit something of, what we do. So, we had to come with the pizza. We wanted to make sure that you guys actually got a slice. You had the red rum pie, which is our flagship. We use Ezzo's pepperoni, house pickled jalapenos, our sweet sauce, our underground cheese blend, and then we top it off with honey. And then of course,
that's the secret.
Yeah, the honey is the big kicker on there.
Okay.
A little bit of sweetness on everybody.
Yeah.
So, Zoey and her team are so talented in what they do, and we wanted to give you guys something a little bit more personalized. So that's why we brought you guys the cupcakes with the cupcake toppers with your logo.
That's
Especially
freaking
because
awesome.
2 Fat Cookies is pretty much the mothership of this whole situation we're in. So had to bring you something from the homeland.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Two Fat Cookies.
Yeah, so 2 Fat Cookies is a bakery in Delray Beach. We pretty much specialize in custom cakes and all sorts of really delicious cupcakes and cookies and individual desserts. So we've been open since 2007, and we've moved a couple times, but it's been a really amazing growth process. And to see our team go from like 3 to 20 over the past, 5-6 years is insane.
That's incredible. That's really cool.
We have a big team, and it would not be possible without them.
Oh, yeah. They're a talented group of people who love food as much as we do. So,
Well, I'm on like a full sugar high over here because I had some Pump House coffee, and then I had like the spicy sweet pizza, and then like a chocolate cupcake, and now some Mighty Swells. I'm having a fantastic day so far, everyone.
this is
Just
delicious,
saying.
Yeah.
by the way. This is amazing.
Really
I'm
nice, right?
Loving this.
Yeah, so they're from Austin, Texas,
Oh,
the
nice.
Mighty Swell people, and they keep it weird out there in Austin. I'm sure you guys know how it
Yep.
is.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, keep our fridges stocked as well, so we're grateful for them.
Yeah, it's great.
So let's talk a little bit about Death by Pizza and kind of how that really came into fruition.
Okay. So, like we said, we have a big team, and one of the things that we do occasionally is we make a family meal. And one day I was just making a Detroit style pie, which I've made over the years. I've traveled and had a lot of different types of pizzas. And so I was like, you know what? Let me put something together real fast. And I made a Detroit style pizza. It doesn't really come together that fast, but
Sure.
I pulled it out of the oven. Everybody's like, what's that smell? What's that smell? And then when they had a bite of it, they're like, Koby, why aren't we not, like, we need to be selling this. This is just insane. So I went into the office, I grabbed Zoey, and we're like, we got to do this. So we put our heads together, and this was like middle of July. And then 6 weeks later, we open with a sold out first night. So Death by Pizza is a naturally leavened Detroit style pizza that we call kind of like a craft pie. You go on Mondays at noon when the online ordering opens up, and you pick up on the following Sunday. We encourage everybody to make an account on our online ordering. If you go to deathbypizzadelray.com and you click on the order now link, it'll take you over to Explore Talk, which is our platform for online ordering. Make an account, get your payment information in, and be ready to hit that refresh button right at 12 o'clock so you can get your pie.
I like to say fast fingers get pizza dinners. It's
Ooh,
my
I
little-
like
Kinda
that.
coined
That's a
that.
good slogan, yeah.
And it's exclusive. Like, you know, if you miss out, people are upset. Like, I'm sure you probably got a couple nasty messages being like, it's 12:05.
Yeah.
You sold out in like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, listen, we want everyone to be able to try the pizza. And, you know, it was definitely one of those tricky things to figure out what would be the best platform for us to use to be able to sell them. Because, you know, if we did it by phone ordering, you know, you'd be logging up the phone lines. It could take hours just to get everybody's pizza orders in, because between picking out time slots, what pizzas, taking payment information, it would just be a really drawn out process. So we just realized that the best way for us to be able to do this would be through an online platform, because everything is ready to go. All we have to do is make it live, and like I said, just get your fingers
put your
ready.
money where your mouth is too. Like, you're getting your pizza 6 days from now.
Yeah, that too.
Exactly. And tell us how quickly you guys sold out first day.
So the first weekend, I think it was September 7th was the
Yeah.
first night. We have to be able to control the pars, and we're like, okay, let's try to do this pizza thing and see where we go. And we opened up for 70 pizzas, and we only brought in so much equipment just to make sure that we weren't taking an investment, you know, too high of a risk. So we kind of started this like mysterious marketing on social media, which is like on Instagram, and we kind of were like, get saucy, you know, sweet sauce, different things that you can see.
Somewhere.
Yeah, you
like
gotta start somewhere.
Like, we just made it really vague and just used our other Instagram platforms to just get it out there, because it's only like 4 days between us starting to post about it before the ordering went live for the first time.
That's incredible.
So we opened up the ordering in like a minute and 45 seconds. I was sitting there and I was like, oh my God, it just sold out. And I'm like,
it was so funny. I was at the dentist and I was like, I can't believe I made my dentist appointment for noon. Like, that was so dumb. And so I'm literally getting like my phone blowing up with Koby trying to call me. And I was like, you're lying. This is not selling like 2 minutes.
I was like,
or whatever
literally,
it was.
I was in shock, and I was like in so much shock that I was like laughing. So
it was just crazy.
So the first night comes, we did like a really like skeleton crew just to like make sure that everything went right. I was all hands on deck. Like, I was building the pies, I was baking them, and then my our second in command on pizza night, he was there on deep panning the pizzas, topping them, cutting them, and finishing them. And Zoe was in the window welcoming and greeting, you know, our first customers that came in. And the next day, it's Monday, so we're like, okay, Sunday, Monday, it's
time to do it again.
Time to do it again.
Pizzas from the night before too, so you have like all this organic like people like just posting these pizzas. Like, the marketing couldn't have been more perfect to do it on a Sunday and open it up on Monday.
Yeah, so we're using a really high quality pan. It's called a Lloyd's pan, and they make a really awesome product. And it's like a true Detroit nature is to use either like a really well seasoned pan or to use Lloyd's. So the next day, I'm like, I think we need to increase our pars, because let's see what we can do. So we bumped up to 100 pies, and I was on the phone with Lloyd's. I was like, I need to get these pans here before Sunday. What can we do? And sure enough, those pans came in, and Monday comes around. We put it live, and next thing I know, a minute and like 30 seconds, it sold out again. And literally people are starting to like give like these comments that's like, damn, I missed it, or like, how do I even do this? Like, is something wrong? Like, what did I do? Like, I can't believe I missed this. And so sure enough, the next weekend, all those pizzas went out. We have all this social media feedback where people are reposting and whatnot. And it's really about, you know, people sharing and, you know, reposting and supporting and showing the love about what we're doing. So it's like, I got to call Lloyd's again. So I ordered 50 more pans this time. So let's see what we can do. So some of those pans came in, and we bumped up the pars again, and we went to 140 with 10 doughs to make sure that we have a contingency plan in case anything goes wrong. Luckily, nothing's gone wrong yet.
Beautiful.
And sure enough, you know, obviously we want to take care of our staff, so we make some extra dough, take care of them. at the end of the night, so everybody can, go home with
Take a pizza home, right?
So we
Yeah.
went from like 4 people on staff. Now we're 8 people making pizzas on Sundays. And I got to give it to my staff. Who wants to work on a Sunday? But for the love of pizza, this is probably the most positive experience we've had, let alone just making cakes and cookies and, doing our breakfast. Everybody's like, I can't wait till next weekend to work.
It's like a very intense 5 hours because you are literally nonstop that whole time. It's like pizzas in, pizzas out, get them in the boxes, cut them, get them to the customer. It's like, and there's a lot of communication that has to happen. We try to be really organized with like all of our production lists so that way they know what pizzas they need to make every 15 minutes. I know who's getting what pizza when they come to pick up, plus all the other little items between, we just introduced wings this week. But they get we have a dessert. There's extra, peppers that they can order. So just making sure that all the orders are going out 100% correctly.
And I love that before we went on air today, you were telling us about how mom is like the queen of efficiency.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously big props to her because you've learned a lot
Absolutely.
from her. And I love the fact that you talked about you did some tastings before, you brought people in, you got some feedback. Tell us a little bit about that process.
So in July, we came up with the idea and we started eating the pizza and we love it. But try eating pizza 7 days a week, twice a day for 6 weeks. And you tell me if you're going to still be able to eat it.
Sounds like college at UCF a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. So, my parents are huge advocates for practice, and make sure that what you're doing is what the outcome of it is what you want it to be. So, instead of me making pizza, having half of it and, saving it and, maybe possibly not eating it, they're like, start inviting your friends and your family and your vendors and get them in here, do a chef's table, give them, a starter. Make sure you have some beer and wine. Ask them what pizzas that they want. So we sent them the menu. I didn't put any prices on it or anything. I just put the descriptions, different names. We went through like a dozen different names for all the pizzas. Each one of them has like a unique name and, a story behind it. But when people started coming in and we had people like, I was doing 4 nights a week. Mm-hmm. I was like asking questions like, if you were to pay this amount of money for this pie, do you feel like your perceived value is exceeded? And everybody was like, this pizza is going to blow everything out of the water in the area. And so sure enough, 4 weeks went by and I took a week break off of, practicing. And then the next week we launched. And sure enough, we're getting responses and feedback from the platform that's just like all smiley faces, absolute best pizza ever. The vibe, the customer experience, and the way that people are ordering, it's just a totally different experience than calling the pizza shop and saying, hey, can I get a pizza in 15 minutes? You have to plan. This is a pandemic ready thing. So on Sunday night you're getting your pizza, but like Zoe said, fast fingers get pizza dinners.
I like that.
You just got to be ready. We want to be able to serve all. We had an article in the Palm Beach Post, and this past weekend I noticed our demographic definitely shifted from mostly millennials to some of the baby boomers and the older generation. I'm like, wow, they got really fast fingers now.
Yeah.
So and I'm looking out the window we have to build, all the pizza boxes, and there's only so much space that we can put it. So we're blocking some of our bay that we can't see out. But I kept on going up to the window to see who's ordering the pizza and what are the responses. And sure enough, it's we're kind of hitting, most of the demographics.
I think that's really cool. And I want to personally touch on, idea, concept to it's live. And how long that took you, because I think a lot of people, and Mike and I can attest to this, a lot of people just have an idea, but they won't actually just do it. And you did. I like that.
So I kind of gave myself some time to figure out what the marketing was going to be. We work with a really good marketing company in Delray Beach, a local company called Sack Lunch. And sure enough, when you come up with an idea, I actually kind of dreamed the idea of, I was like, what, Zoe? I was like, I think we should go totally anti 2 Fat Cookies and set a specific set of rules and take a little bit more of an avant-garde approach, and let's go rough. And kind of our name for 2 Fat Cookies is who wants to go into a shop that says fat? But you know what? It works. So we kind of took like that kind of idea and we spun it into the name, and it was like, we're going to call it Death by Pizza. Because
great.
like if pizza was my last meal, I would be a really happy
I'd be
camper.
stoked. Yeah.
We're good with it. Yeah.
So we worked back and forth with our marketing company. They got us an awesome logo, and they started developing some more stuff for us. We have like the stickers, and sure enough, like we're going to have apparel rolling out shortly, t-shirts. We have flyers that we used, and we really wanted to give something that was like unique, and like this is like kind of like going to a concert. So it was like I was looking at like old CBGB posters and like being like, I was sending them a whole bunch, and I was like, give us a concert flyer. And it kind of like plays a little bit to like my past experience. And 10 years ago when I was in college, I worked for a promotion company, and like, what was it? Everybody handed out flyers. Mm-hmm. So sure enough, we have this like really awesome flyer. It looks like you're going to like a punk rock concert.
Love
and
it.
The cool thing about it is we can always change it. It can make it look like a new concert every weekend. So we have some new flyers that are going to be coming out soon, and posters and whatnot. And we tape a whole bunch of them up over the Two Fat BrEGgfast like logo on the windows and stuff. So it really like looks like you're going to a real concert.
Yeah, and it's cool too because people walk by that are just like hanging out on Atlantic. So they'll walk by and they're like, oh, what is this? So give them a flyer, like check it out, and they're like, oh, this is like cool and different. So. Yeah.
We're blasting the music outside. People are walking by. Originally I wanted to play like death metal and whatnot, and sure enough, I was like, I love it, but I can't do this to the community. So we play like everything from like the Talking Heads,
little punk,
Beastie Boys. Sometimes we'll play some old school hip hop. We want that vibe to change. So going back to what you're asking, we worked on the marketing. We got all of our marketing, in hand. And like, that's like a huge thing, I think, for us, is that like, we're not going to launch a product without the marketing first, because if you don't have any sort of tangible or intangible, media or collateral, you're just as good as the name. So we wanted to be able to hand stuff out. All of our breakfast bags, get that flyer stapled onto them. Our guys that work in the front are constantly pushing the pizza. Like, have you heard about it? What do you know? Have you had it? And it's just like constantly like asking. People call all the time. So once we got to like that like 5th week, and I got all the pans in place, I ordered all the ingredients, and we did some dry runs with our staff to make sure that everything was kind of like coming out properly. We were ready.
That's beautiful, man. I love hearing that.
I love the word of mouth. Down in Delray Beach, we've got a couple people that we work with, that we associate with. So shout out to John at Hopportunities, and
Definitely.
Allison at the
We love you,
Delray
John,
Foodie.
yeah.
And Allison at the Delray Foodie,
Yeah,
she's
absolutely.
blowing your stuff up as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if either of those people say that they vouch for your stuff, like, we're instantly in.
Yeah, Allison came in, I think 2 weekends ago, showed her how we make the pizza. She had a great time. She does some awesome content, and she's definitely the person to follow for food in Delray Beach.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And it's like that marketing tactic of the avant-garde. We're only following ourselves. Like, you can see who's sharing our stuff, and that it's in that realm. And so it's just really, really cool to see you guys grow fast. And obviously you've learned a lot along the way.
Oh yeah, we really piggybacked off of Two Fat Cookies and Two Fat BrEGgfast.
Sure.
Like when we first decided to launch this whole concept, we were like, okay, we need to, send out invites to follow our page, do all of that. And we just started marketing it through Two Fat BrEGgfast and Two Fat Cookies. So when that first week hit, like, we had no idea what the response was going to be like. We're like, if we, sell 60 pies, awesome. We have no idea. And the fact that it sold out in like 2 minutes was just like, that really just happened.
It was mind blowing.
It was
crazy.
Validation.
We tried doing like a breakfast for dinner when the pandemic first started,
Mm-hmm.
and we got some response, but not nearly as much as we've gotten for pizza.
Yeah, I mean, we did. You guys are familiar with the Socially Distant Supper Club on Facebook? Okay, so so that was an amazing platform for so many restaurants. Like when everything first started going awry, and we did like a savory pie night because we used to make all these types of things in our house growing up. So we're like, let's do it. So a lot of the same kind of concept of that flash mob situation is what Death by Pizza is.
Sure.
So it gives restaurants and now us the opportunity to plan properly, to be able to have enough ingredients, enough staff, all of that, to be able to really push out as much as we can in one night to kind of help boost revenue, because that's really what that was all about, was helping these small businesses stay afloat when, you know, things are unpredictable and crazy. Because we had, like I said, no idea what to expect with any of this.
Luckily, like our mothership, Two Fat Cookies, is a takeout business.
Right.
So everything's always been takeaway. So when the pandemic hit and they told businesses to shut down, we're like, I guess we're in this gray area where we don't have to shut down. So
That's huge.
you know, a lot of places closed on the Ave, and we were the only place open for coffee or breakfast. And sure enough, we had a line down to Atlantic, you know, and we're really grateful that we're set up like that. But, you know, that kind of audience that we have that believes in our products, believes in our team, and believes in us really keeps us going and wanting to do more for the community.
And that's really how the Palm Beach podcast got started. We wanted to support the locals who are doing good things, spreading the good vibes, and providing good quality stuff for Palm Beach County.
Yeah, we definitely need that type of support, especially during these times.
Well, now that we've all got the business stuff out of the way, we know you're foodies. Guys, you got to share some spots that you like to hit. Drinks, food. Time to name drop.
You're probably I don't get out much, to be honest. I'm like, I work and I go home. He goes out all the time.
I'll shout out to a place that I ate at the other night, and I thought it was absolutely divine. I ate at Oceana Kitchen in Lantana.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small little spot. It's like al fresco dining. The chef there, I apologize, I don't remember his name. I think it's Jeremy. He has an awesome resume, but they do like really great pizzas, as well as like we had like a salmon poke, a fresh pasta with squid, and the desserts were actually awesome there. And what I really liked about it is that his menu is nice and small, and it changes every single day.
That's cool.
So something to look forward to is that like you can go there and have a different experience every time, and everything is going to be fresh. And like that's like what I want to do as well. And I think that like that's the dream goal, is to be able to have a spot where the menu is constantly changing, and you're just kind of like pushing that envelope where people can always have a little bit of a different experience, but you're sticking within the same set of rules. I love sushi. There's some great sushi places. I frequent at Sushi Joe, which is I think they have 2 locations. I usually go to the one in Boynton, but on like a Monday or Tuesday night, you can find me there crushing a lot of sushi.
Oh, I love their poke bowls. I love it.
It's delicious.
They got one up in Jupiter as well.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe's the man.
I have to go and venture up that way. Check out their other locations.
And then I know they got Joe's Bistro too, and I think that's in.
I've heard about their wraps there. The wraps are supposed to be killer,
unreal,
right? Yeah,
unreal. And it's again just cool art, cool environment, and it's what you guys are creating. It's all about the experience, which creates the uniqueness of your restaurants and really who you guys are.
Yeah, I mean, our main priority is always flavor, between cookies, cupcakes, brownies, the breakfast. I mean, we're not using, you know, crazy different ingredients, but we always are really conscious about how things are paired together. Like if I'm going to make a margarita flavored cupcake, I want it to taste like a margarita. I'm not just going to throw the components together and be like, oh, well, it has some of those flavors in there, it'll be fine. Like, I really want it to be reminiscent of what it is. You know, it's really about taking the ingredients and elevating them and using them the best way you can. I mean, we're not doing anything different in our window than they're egg sandwiches. It's nothing like new, you know, we're just making sure that we're using amazing ingredients. The structure is great. You know, we really think about each component of each recipe before we're like, okay, that's making it on the menu.
And you probably could have sold like 500 to 1,000 pieces on Monday if you'd opened them up, right?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to say yes to that. You know, I would just hope that we have the backing and the support behind that. You know, you asking that question, I will tell you this. We are looking for a brick and mortar location so that we can open up our capacity and our volume that we're able to do. Will we still have some of our rules in place? Yeah. It'll probably be a limited number of days that we'll be open, just to kind of stick within that same, concept of, you know, you're only able to get it for a certain time, a certain number, and this is what it is. And depending on how business is, you know, we have different cards that we can play. You know, people are always like, can I get the pizza for delivery? And maybe someday.
Yeah.
But not right off the bat, I use delivery service frequently, and I love the accessibility to it. But at the same time, accessibility is kind of what is driving our business right now, and the demand and whatnot. So, we hope to be able to be doing 500 to 1,000 pizzas a week, but not every night.
Sure.
Well, and that's like I told you, my patient was like, "Hey, how do you get the pizza?" I'm like, "Well, there's hidden secrets to this." So I appreciate the exclusivity as well, because people are just so eager to A, taste it, and B, they want to get that pie.
It's a hot ticket in Delray Beach right now, and I think we're getting some people that are coming from Boca and Boynton. We've heard about some people even driving down from Jupiter and coming up from Fort Lauderdale. And
I know someone in West Palm that was 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
5 minutes
that was bummed.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the little tricks, is that when it goes live, the spots go from, green to orange, which is a pending set. And some people are having multiple people trying to go on at the same time to get pizza. So maybe somebody snagged one, so they don't need that spot anymore. So the thing that happens is it stays in pending for about 10 minutes. So if they decide to cancel, or they're like, nah, never mind, I don't want it. It does eventually come back live. So it may take until 12:15 for it to come back live. So if you have the time and you want to keep click and refresh, you may snag a pizza at 12:15. But yes, the initial sellout happens when they all go from available to pending. And that was what happened in 25 seconds this past week.
We do want to
incredible.
keep encouraging everybody. Just keep trying. You're going to get the pizza. Don't worry. Like I said, we're going to get our own location for it, and we're going to have more accessibility. But, with the time being, building a new spot does take some time. And especially it being pandemic, getting through some of those hoops that you have to get through to get a location live is like going through a Monopoly board. So, you have to be able to, get everything in line, and then being able to open and execute. We want to create that same experience from how we're doing it now to being in a brick and mortar. We don't want to cut any corners or jeopardize quality. Yeah. And we want to make sure that it's a safe environment for our staff to work, and also be able to put out a superior product like we are now.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm stoked to have you on the podcast, and I know Mike as well.
Yeah, I think they've got to give some thanks now. Who helped you guys get to where you're at today?
Well, number one, we have to obviously thank our parents. They really taught us so much between efficiency, just being in the food industry since we're, really young, and also just supporting our dreams and endeavors during this whole thing. A long time ago, I don't think they would have felt the same way, but I think the fact that we've been able to really build the brand for both Two Fat Cookies and Two Fat BrEGGfast, it really gave them the, the trust in us to let us kind of take this and run with it and see what happens. And I think they're also very mind blown about what the results of that were. So I think they're just being very encouraging and, helpful where they can be. And, they've been there almost every Sunday too, just kind of helping out, cheering us on. And it's been really amazing.
Yeah, our parents have really given us this great platform. I could give you a long list of chefs, friends, family, a lot of people that I fall onto for a lot of the stuff that I've learned in my experience. I've only been in the culinary industry since I was, 13, but it's a big industry. I really got back into it right after college, and, the last 10 years, I've worked in a lot of different establishments and whatnot. I really just want to say thank you to our team. Our team is literally what makes our business thrive. Without them, none of this would be possible. And if you could build a team, just make sure you take care of your employees, because they'll take care of you, and they'll take care of your customers as you take care of them.
Hey, on that note, cheers, guys.
Hey, thanks for coming on the podcast, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Heck yeah.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Palm Beach Podcast. Our show is brought to you by Pump House Coffee Roasters, Hopportunities in Delray Beach, and the Lotus Travel Company for retreats and tours in Palm Beach County.